friends, today I'm making a video on limits. Limits might seem difficult, but it's actually quite simple. The answer is the number which is getting approached but never reaches. Let's take this first example. Lim x to infinity 1 by, not infinity, by x, by x. By x, 1 by x is approaching to 0 because x keeps on going bigger and bigger and bigger to infinity. Because if we have 1 by 2, it's 0.5, 1 by 3 is 0.33, 1 by 4 is 0.25. It keeps going closer and closer to 0, so it approaches 0. Now, let me show you another practical example. Imagine if you have limits x to 5, so it's approaching. So x is going to 5. The number gets closer and closer to 5. What is that? Which answer is getting approached? X for the function x squared minus x. Then multiply that all by 2. The answer is 40, because if you plug in the values closest to 5, which is approaching and approaching 5, the numbers coming over here are approaching and approaching 40. So you can plug it into a calculator. Now, this is basically the topic on limits. Now what if you had infinity to x lim? If you replace this with this, it'd be 1, because if infinity is basically close to 0, and then if it's getting closer and closer to x itself, then yeah, it's going from x to infinity. So it's 1 by x equals to 0. So this is how we can show you the pattern of fractions. Now, what are the squares now? This can come from many options. What are the squares of the number x to infinity going to? It goes to infinity itself, or maybe as well as infinity squared. If we were to do the opposite, you'd probably get 1, because the squares approach. Actually, they approach 0. Because they can get smaller and smaller than 1. But as long as x is not greater than 0, it never reaches 0. So this is what happens when you reverse it. Thank you for watching. See you later on complicated maths made easy.